So, Mr. Delevoye, good morning, and thank you very much for having you here. It is our pleasure to be at the Social and Environmental Economic Council here, CS. This is the very first time we've organized a big tent event in Paris. What is a big tent event? It is a big tent, even though sometimes we didn't use a tent. But originally, this was a political forum where we had people gathering different, if not diverging opinion, and they discuss and they set up a dialogue in full freedom. We have organized a number of big tents in the world. We had in New York, London events, Seoul, Madrid. We always discuss with no taboos of the internet challenges, freedom of expression, and we offer this very first one here in Paris. You have the Citizen Forum. Would you like to tell us more about it, Mr. President? Thank you very much. The CISI, Environmental and Economic Council, is quite a formal institution. Three objectives to it from what I wanted. In view of the current events, which may totally challenge what we do, I share the opinion that we are in a full metamorphosis. And this is the very moment at a very complex crossroad, because for many French people, progress is more a factor of risk than of development. Sorry, number two, in view of the political situation, political issues, trade union issues must be put together in support of changes and generate not conflict, but progresses. And I would like this place to be the place for dialogue, how to build together what we currently have. Nothing will be done without citizens' decision-making process. Of course, the decision-maker is on his own, but citizens must be co-citizens, a co-producer of the solution. This is a neutral, independent Europe, which is the role of CISE. We started here having a discussion between ecologists, the agricultural unions on seaweeds, on environment-friendly solutions, and we're going to have pretty soon solutions in which we're going to have full-fledged solution, because above and beyond this competitiveness, what we need is a cultural shock. We are in the economy of material, and we would like to be as excited, as enchanted by the future, release creativity among everyone. And in fact, I'm delighted about this structure, which enables us to do all this. What about the political union, association, economic decision makers who are at the head of structures, with a remuneration power statute? Maybe we could help them being unbiased enough to open up the debate, even if to challenge their own structures. This is what I said when President Hollande said he wanted the environmental and social conference to be held. It's a phrase from Winston Churchill that I'm quoting. Political men think about the next election. The head of state think about the next generation. This is it. And with this type of association, we think about the next generation. I'm in full agreement with what you said. And our purpose here for this first discussion is to look at the link between growth, innovation, and growth, and setting up a dialogue. It's not a topic of controversy. I guess we all agree on this virtuous circle, growth. Even if we do not agree on this virtuous circle, there are questions to be raised. And this is what we would like, in fact, to discuss. And the very first item is, why is it that digital remit is not used as a leverage of competitiveness for a company? Is there not a risk in restricting, in fact, these items to their base? And then copyright. Does that allow cultural firms to really take advantage of the internet? And the last question, which is that addressing, in fact, the startup makers, why is it that an investor will prefer to invest in a startup in London, Berlin, rather than one in Paris? These are the questions we shall be tackling today. The digital economy is not a full-fledged sector for us. It is the digital science in the economic environment. These are the topics we shall be covering. And I must say that you should start thinking about all this. You've expressed yourself upon several occasions. Indeed. I often say, Elie Wiesel said, when I went back home from school, my mother didn't ask me, did you answer well? Did you put the right question, she asked. I said this is a time of metamorphosis, total change. There's a change in mindset, a change in the way we communicate. And in history, whatever those two factors, we had a total societal upheaval. Yes, we need a cultural shock. I was mentioning a while ago this gauged by social vision. The question was scientific progress, technological progress. Are they creating a better world? For emerging countries, answer is yes, 87%. Developing countries, yes, 79%. France, 61%, yes, only. Second question, ever since I used the new technology, my body and my brain, do they operate better? Listen, 81% emerging countries, yes, 63% developed countries, 45% for France. You see, we really need that cultural shock. Answering the questions. Before, power came from, raw material, land development. Now it's a flow of data. Are we going to see a new monopolistic attitude? Google is said to have that monopolistic attitude. Three questions that we have. One, demographics. Two, the location of resources. Google profiting in this country and another country was the object of controversy. This is one of the topics that we see in the new organization of our borders. And number three, how can we have living together people from different heterogeneous sources? And then we see that given that what is possible is, more and more going towards freedom of markets, opening to freedom. Can we limit, restrict this just to respect the individual human being? These are conflictual, elements of controversy, and putting that question, putting this type of discussion, we must find the right solution for the society of the future. I would like to pay tribute to the symbol of your organization because, well, we are thinking about what we can do. Do you know the Indian Kunis, Nikolai Hulot? We've met them. In your very first space, you have a whole series of new entrepreneurs. In the startups, yes. There's that cross-fertilization in the field, which is amazing. And the Indians have that formula. They say, you hear the noise of the tree that is being felled. You never hear the noise of a tree that is growing. This is that same fertilization. We should not sterilize from the center. There's fertility at the base. And then in your big tent event, like an Indian big tent, originally, as early as human beings lived together, they created the tent of human beings in the middle of a space. The purpose was to have the chief, representing two things. The poorest, because you share everything as a chief. Number two, the quality of this chief was the one who, in fact, spoke less. He wanted to have solutions emerge, i.e. mediation. You see, in the light of these two elements, it is time for me to shut up or not speak anyway. Thank you for this very, very kind words, very good words. And before we let this discussion open up, I would like to revert myself to the overall organization of this day. This is the very first time we have this stage, this space in which we have is a hypostyle. It's a term I've just discovered, a hypostyle. Like you have a peristyle. Yes, this is just the spirit of this Palais d'Iéna. We're going to have a wonderful exhibition on Pellerin, the architect, next year. Pellerin, the architect, with his friend Eiffel, said that the concrete as a material was a space of freedom. It was something completely ignored before as material. So that sense of adventure of that time, of that man who never hesitated in putting concrete as a culture with this type of architect, with his friend Eiffel, his pal, a wonderful monument just opposite, is just the symbol. Thank you for that appetence that you wish, daring to live the future. Thank you. So we'll rely on your questions for your audacious, numerous questions. This is your discussion, so do not hesitate. And the speakers are here to leave the floor. Before Marjorie Vaillant and Benjamin Vincent take the floor, could we just look at a video of the minister in charge of ecology? Thank you.
Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour. Je souhaitais vous adresser
a few words, given that I cannot be with you in this wonderful hall of the CISE. This is the very first Big Ten discussion organized by Google in Paris, so thank you. Thank you to all the partners who helped organizing Cette Numérique, Compil, and the startups who are presently in this hall. You decided to think about the importance of the digital world as a motive force of growth. It is a topic at the heart of my concern. The report of General Inspection of Finance, which is Support to Digital Economy and Innovation, was issued a short while ago. And it is a must. Digital growth will be at the core of the French growth, as has been the case. I would like to take advantage of this message to insist on two things. One, starting from fact, yes, companies who use the digital economy export more and they grow more rapidly. The ComExco recent study shows 10th point, in fact, a GDP difference between France and UK, because in France we have underinvested. The digital economy is a major leverage in our country. Capgemini Consulting and the RMI Center have organized a study showing that companies who are at the forefront of digital economy are more profitable than the others in Europe. This is why French companies must be placed at the heart of digital economy, especially very small enterprises and SMEs. And we launched 2 weeks ago Digital Transition, a program whose ambition, in fact, is to make public over the territory digital equipment with the possibility to have a neighborhood assistance and support. Now, the success of the program comes from the mobilization of the public and private sectors, and I would like to invite major companies to come and help us. Digital economy is a wonderful leverage for growth, but France doesn't take, in fact, the benefits, not as much as it could. My project in the use we can do of it in the companies, small and big, is large. Thank you very much.